Today we're going to do something a little different in the Discuss series. We're going to discuss my trip to PAX South 2018. And I'm going to probably have some background video of me usually doing what I do, driving around in Grand Theft Auto Online, and photos that I took and tweeted out via Facebook as well as Twitter. So PAX is a series of gaming conventions. I'm sure most of you know that. You got PAX East, you got PAX West, PAX Australia, and of course the smallest and newest of the PAXs is PAX South, which is the one that's closest to me when it comes to driving distance. And I was planning on going to PAX South 2016. That didn't work out. I really wanted to go to PAX 2017, but I was having health problems. I was overweight, extremely overweight. I'm still overweight, but I'm down to like 170 something right now, so I'm way better than I was a year ago. And obviously I couldn't go in 2017. But over the past year, I made some friends. I know, that's crazy. GeauxBurns, you actually make friends? It happens every now and then. So I'm part of the International Podcast. Most of you know that as well, I think, with Carrick, who's the host of ACG, one of the best reviewers of video games, indie, and AAA, along with Reg Silver. You know, we're the four. You know, we're the quad of the ACG International Podcast. And occasionally, we have guests that show up. Some of them, you know, one and dones. Others show up a few times. And one of them was Azralynn. And we became friends through the International Podcast. And I started playing with her in Friday the 13th, as well as in Dead by Daylight. And through Azralynn, I made some other friends like Sky, Retro, aka MRG, a few others as well. So it was thanks to the International Podcast and Carrick that I have made some new friends, like Azralynn. And when Azralynn and Sky said that they were going to go to PAX South for 2018, I knew I had to go. Because, you know, I really enjoy playing with these two, and I felt like that we were becoming friends, and I actually wanted to meet them and hang out with them in person. And I'd never been to one of these gaming conventions, and I thought as a content creator and a streamer that I owe it to myself to actually go to one of these conventions at least, you know, like once, just to see what it's like. So here's what transpired leading up to PAX South. A few months prior, I had to obviously plan ahead, and that's what you should always do when it comes to these sort of things. You got to get your pass. You got to order in advance. I got me a 3-day pass from like Friday through Sunday, January 12th through 14th. So I ordered that. That was like $80, $90. But at the same time, where am I going to stay? What am I going to do? Sleep under a bridge or on a bench? No, I need a hotel. So I had to book a hotel. And of course, I decided to get a rather nice hotel because I considered it kind of a vacation for me. Most of the time, I'm barely even able to leave because I have responsibilities, real life stuff that keeps me kind of in the area. But I decided, you know what, this is also going to be a vacation. I'm going to have a good time. And so I booked a nice hotel. I did that in advance. And I needed somebody to house sit for me as well as take care of my pets while I was gone. Fortunately, one of my uncles was able to do that for me. And I got everything planned out. I was able to get him some groceries so he could last a few days, enough cat food, dog food, the basics, so that, you know, everyone would be happy and comfy while I was away, my uncle as well as my pets. While I was at it, I decided to go ahead and buy some new wardrobe as well, a couple new pairs of jeans, a new suitcase, as well as some new tops, because like I'm very bad about buying new clothes for myself. I'll wear something till it has holes in it. And I decided, you know what, now might be the good time that I've lost some weight, that I'm a little bit slimmer, that I may want to buy some new clothing items. And I also bought some new shoes. And I was, you know, working on getting everything taken care of the week prior, leading up to me leaving on Wednesday, January 10th, because I was going to leave 2 days early. Because it's a long drive from where I live in the northwest region of Louisiana, aka the Arklatex, as we call it, all the way down to San Antonio. It's basically a 7-8 hour drive. So yeah, I had to make sure I had everything taken care of before I left, and it was basically up to the last minute Wednesday before I was really ready to go. Because I also had to make content for my subscribers, you know, Wednesday through Sunday. And I wish I would have had something for Monday. I did live stream, but I decided to delete that live stream for some reasons. Let's just leave it at that. I was just extremely drained Monday, and I'm still kind of drained right now on Tuesday, and it's actually snowed outside here in the south so we have snow. But anyways, back to last week. So I left around noonish on Wednesday, which is around the time I planned on leaving. And I didn't go to San Antonio directly Wednesday. I actually stopped in Austin, which is the capital of Texas. By the way, I'm a child of two states, in case you're wondering. I am born and raised from Texas, but both sides of my family are from Louisiana, and I have lived in Louisiana my whole adult life. So I consider Texas and Louisiana to be my home. Both my homes. But two of my sisters lives in Austin. Well, they live in the Austin area. And so I decided along the way that I would, stop for the night in Austin, because between where I live and Austin is basically a roughly 5.5, 6 hour drive. So it would be another additional like 60 to 90 minutes to get from Austin down to San Antonio. They're pretty close together. Two big cities. And so I stopped Wednesday night in Austin, and I had dinner with my sisters, and one of my brothers-in-laws showed up as well. The other one had to work, unfortunately, but we had a pretty good time. And so I slept at one of my sister's houses. And then Thursday, I got up and I started getting myself together, putting everything back in the truck, and I headed out on the road for San Antonio. And that trip, that didn't take me too long because, like I mentioned, Austin is only like maybe an hour, 2 hours tops north of San Antonio, depending on traffic. And traffic Thursday wasn't too bad. It was really windy. But the day before, Wednesday, backtracking just a second, later on in the drive, I was going west, and the sun was going down. And it became very difficult that last hour to drive. But back to Thursday, the drive, with the exception of it being windy from Austin to San Antonio, went pretty good. And I made it to the hotel about a little after 2 o'clock. And all my directions I print out. I don't like preset the destination in the GPS or anything. I mean, I use it for the map, but basically I just go by directions. I'm old school. I look at distances. I look at mile readings. I look at exit numbers, roads. I'm old school when it comes to driving. I don't rely on GPS to get me through, San Antonio or Austin, because, that's just the way I grew up, in a time before GPS and before smartphones. That's how we had to go from point A to point B when we were doing some long distance driving. So anyways, I made it to the hotel early Thursday afternoon. I tweeted out a photo of the Tower of the Americas, and I let people know that I was in San Antonio. And so I arrived basically, I guess, a day early, because PAX South didn't start till the next day, Friday, the 12th. And they gave me time to chill, relax, check into the hotel, even walk around the river walk, which is beautiful. I tweet out some photos as well. I'm probably posting photos here. I'm just doing random photos, I guess, unless I have time to actually put them in chronological order, which may or may not happen. But the Riverwalk is absolutely beautiful, and there's like gondolas, so you can go on little tours, about 30, 45-minute tours around the Riverwalk. Very beautiful, very historic city. I even have some friends that live in San Antonio. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see any of them because I guess they had prior things going on. But that's life, Life happens. So Thursday evening, I walked around the Riverwalk. I went to CVS, bought a few items because I wasn't going to pay $3 for a bottle of water at the hotel. So I went to CVS and I bought some things that were a little bit cheaper. I mean, it was still expensive because it's a tourist destination, and obviously in tourist towns, things are going to be a bit more pricey. So I bought some of the things I needed, like some bottles of water, some vitamin C tablets, to get my health up, because I did not want to catch PAX pox, as they call it. And I think I'm just drained, not because I'm sick, but I think I'm just drained from the entire like adventure, down to PAX South, walking around for several days, and the drive back, of course. Hopefully I'm doing better today than I was yesterday. I think it's just me slowly recovering from the whole thing. But anyways, so I walked around the Riverwalk as well as a little bit of downtown San Antonio Thursday, had some dinner, went back up to my hotel room, got on the lousy internet that came with the hotel. It's a nice hotel, but the internet sucks. But then again, that's because everyone else in the hotel is probably using the internet. So I think I watched Azralynn live stream Dead by Daylight. She wasn't flying in until Friday, so we'll catch up with Azralynn in a minute in my adventures. So she played a little bit of Dead by Daylight, and then I went to bed, and then I got up in the morning and went and had breakfast, and I took a shower. And I got myself ready, and the doors for day 1 of PAX South opened officially at 10 a.m. I got there a little bit after 10 a.m., but there was still kind of a line. And it took about, I'd say about 10 minutes or so to get, through the line into the complex, the Gonzales Convention Center, which is huge, by the way. It's a huge convention center. And, I spent the first, part of Friday morning just walking around PAX South, just looking at it, just, going to the main hall, checking out the video game section. There was, Discord was there. You also had Mixer. Mixer was there. Let's see, you had Lenovo was there as well. I even got a t-shirt from Lenovo. I tweeted that out, I think Saturday. All I had to do was do a hashtag for Lenovo, because I have my laptop is a Lenovo, and I'm actually thinking about getting Lenovo as my gaming rig, because I'm planning on buying a new PC for that purpose. And I've liked Lenovo products. I mean, why not, right? So anyways, Friday morning, I keep skipping around. Friday morning, I basically just experienced PAX South. I just walked around. Tried not to touch anything because I didn't want to catch junk. So you had places where people were putting together Legos. You had a Minecraft area. I'm sure Unknown Assassin and Kane would have been excited about that. There have been kids in a candy store. They also had let's see, the Monster Hunter World booth. They had several developers like Devolver. I love Devolver. I even got a Devolver t-shirt. A few other developers were there as well. A lot of indie developers. I think some AAA showed up. Dauntless was there. I think the Astro headphones were there. There was also, a gaming chair company there. It wasn't the gaming chair I have. It was a different one. There was a lot of merch there, obviously, because, this is a good place to go and buy merchandise. So I just hanged out, puttered around PAX South for a little bit. And then Azralynn got in sometime Friday afternoon, early afternoon. She and a few others like Nick as well as Andy. They're One-Shot Girl fans. And so I met up with Azralynn and them at their hotel. We started hanging out. We started hanging out, walking around. And I think we went back to PAX South, and I was showing them around because, I had a vague idea about where everything was, because earlier in the day I went to PAX South, and I went to the main hall, and I found some of the other stuff as well, including the console room, which had various consoles that you could play on for a few minutes, old school, original Xbox, Dreamcast, maybe a few others as well. And so Azralynn and I decided to play the original Xbox, and we wanted to play a two-player game, cooperative. She didn't want to play a fighting game, and so we went with Halo, and we got our asses kicked pretty badly. But we did start getting better. We got wrecked a little bit, but we got better. And by the time we got really good and we started feeling like we were getting the hang of playing Halo cooperative, our time was up. One of the PAX South enforcers came up and told us the bad news. So we moved on to the arcade room. There was also an arcade room where there was old school arcades. And the game she wanted to play was actually there, Bust a Move. And yeah, she royally kicked my ass. She stomped a mud hole in me. 12-2. I actually won 2 matches. So, hooray for me. I slowly but surely started getting better. But, yeah, she had a good time playing that. And, we just, walked around the convention. They had video games, obviously. They had board games. They had card games. We played a card game with One-Shot Girls group. One-Shot Girl is a streamer. Most of you probably know that. Maybe, maybe not. But anyways, a lot of her fanboys were there, fangirls too. I didn't, I see other YouTubers and streamers as people. So when I met someone like One-Shot Girl, I mean, I've watched a few of her streams in the past. I'm not all like, oh my God, it's so-and-so. I don't care, because they're just another person like me. It's just like people that get all crazy about me, fanboying or fangirling over me. You don't have to. I'm just another person. I have flaws. I'm not perfect. I have to use the bathroom. I have to, take a shower in order to maintain good hygiene and brush my teeth. We're not gods. We're not demigods. We're people. But we do appreciate all of you that do take the time to watch our content, subscribe to our channels, and follow us and all that nonsense. But, so we played a card game. I forgot what it was called, but there was a ton of people playing board games and card games there, along with video games. And it was cool to see all these gamers from all walks of life, from different backgrounds, coming together for one passion, one love. The love of gaming, brought these people together. And it's just so cool to see that, you know. And it's nice that in such a divisive world that we live in, that you have something like this that can actually bring people together. And I wish we had more stuff like that, you know. I really do. So later on that night, Sky finally showed up from California. Azralynn came from Canada, but it didn't take her flight as long to get from Canada to San Antonio as Sky did from California to San Antonio. But I think a lot of that had to do with like timing, you know, what time, you know, Sky could get away. So Sky, Azralynn, let's see, Nick, myself, we hanged out Friday evening after Sky got checked in at the hotel as well. And we went to go eat dinner. Azralynn and I and a few others went to go eat dinner earlier at a Mexican restaurant. And then Sky was obviously hungry, so we went to like a later dinner at an Italian restaurant on the River Rock. And I think I had a soup, and I think I had a cheesecake because, you know, I ate earlier, so I wasn't really that hungry. And, oh, yeah, over lunch, we had some pretty good Italian. We had some pizza. Azralynn had a gelato she really liked. And we discovered Azralynn's weakness, cheesecake. And, like, she was trying to steal my cheesecake from me at the Italian place, and I had to fight her off. I was like, get away from my cheesecake. No. Nah, that didn't happen. That's a lie. But, let's see, after the Italian place, let's see, Sky, Nick, and myself, we were just wandering around the river walk. And I think we ended up at a bar that was playing like 70s, 80s music, and they had a few drinks. And, you know, they had a good time. And they went back to their hotel. I went back to my hotel. And I got up a little bit earlier than them on Saturday morning. You know, I got up again, took a shower, got some breakfast down in the restaurant by the Riverwalk. I went to day 2 of PAX South. The same thing happened. You know, I walked into the convention. It didn't take as long for me to get inside the convention day 2 as it did day 1 on Saturday. And the merch line was not as bad day 2 as it was day 1. Like day 1, like the merch line was all the way down the hall. It was like a mile long at least. I'm not even joking. It was long as hell. But day 2, there was a line, but nowhere near as bad. It took me roughly, I would say, 25 minutes to get to the front of the line. I bought a few items. I bought, a PAX South t-shirt as well as a PAX South hoodie. Anyways, I got my merch. It took me 25 minutes. And, you know, I walked around. And I tried to meet up with someone else that's a guest on the ACG podcast, Dreamcast guy. And I tweeted him. And we just didn't run into each other. You know, I walked all around the area he said he was going to be in. And, look, I tried. I did my part. I tried to meet up with a guy. Didn't work out. You know, I'm just going to leave it at that. So anyways, later on, Az and Sky finally woke up, you know, from their hangover. I went back to the hotel, and then they got, you know, themselves put together, and then we went off to have lunch at another Italian place. But what's interesting is we tried to find other places to eat at, but they weren't happy with any of the places, so we kept walking around the river walk. Sky was like walking 100 miles an hour while Azralynn and I were trying to catch up with Sky. And finally, we found another Italian restaurant, so we had Italian again. And then after the Italian place, which I got to say something about the service there. The food was all right, but the service rather odd because I ordered an appetizer, some garlic bread, and they didn't bring out the bread until they brought out our entrees. That was stupid. So after we ate, we did some more walking around. We went to the Alamo, and Azralynn and Sky really didn't care for that. Because they're not really into history, obviously. Not as much as I am. I'm a history buff. And like I mentioned, I was born and raised in Texas. So the Alamo means something to me historically. Then we went to a few other places around that area, including a wax museum, which had like, waxes of Thor, John Cena, Captain America, T-Rex head, I believe. We didn't go inside the museum. We just went to the lobby area. We weren't going to spend money on that shit. And there was also this giant that kind of creeped me out because I kind of have a thing about giants. A little phobia when it comes to giants. So there was like a wax giant. I was like, ugh, that's too tall. Too tall for my taste. Then after that, we went to the mall and we checked out a Dave & Buster's because Azralynn's never seen a Dave & Buster's. And Azralynn was tired, so she went back to her hotel to take a nap. So Sky and I went back to the PAX South to the convention because Sky needed to shoot some more video for her vlog. So I was kind of like her guide around PAX South because, you know, she was such an awesome tour guide when we were downtown in San Antonio. She actually didn't know what she was doing. She was just faking it till she made it. But it was interesting to see her play tour guide for us. It was a good laugh. It's always a riot when it comes to Sky. But anyway, Sky and me, We walked around the convention. She mingled with a few people that knew her. She shot some video. I'll probably appear in her vlog if she got around to putting it together. So yay for that. And then she went back to her hotel where like her and Az and Taya and I think Nick were in the same hotel. I was in my own hotel room because, you know, that's just the way I roll. So I went back to my hotel. I played on my Switch a little bit and I relaxed. I took a shower. And by the time I took the shower, Azralynn was back up along with Sky. They were back at the convention center and I met up with them because One Shot Girl was doing some sort of soiree, some sort of get together with her subscribers, along with some other content creators, streamers like Mash Stars, Dojo, River, Taya, a few others as well. So if I left you out, I apologize. And so we hanged out for a little bit, but I was getting really tired. And I was trying to mingle with people, and I was struggling because, you know, these are people that they came here to see One Shot Girl. They didn't come here to see any of us. But, you know, a lot of them know each other because they've met through her streams. And the difference is I met Az through, you know, ACG, through Carrick. I didn't meet her through One Shot Girl. So it was kind of weird for me. But I still tried. I attempted to be an extrovert while I'm, you know, an introvert. It's a struggle. The struggle is real. I met a few of them, you know, mingled a little bit. And they were going off to, I think, an SOS party for the game. And I wasn't invited. I was not on the list, sadly. So I had to go back to my hotel room, which was fine. I was getting tired anyways. I spent Saturday night having dinner on the Riverwalk. I had a pretty good sandwich. It's like a roast beef sandwich on, let's see, pretzel bread. And it was French dip with some fries. I had some green tea. It was nice. It was cool, relaxing. I was just sitting there outside, you know, watching people walk by, watching the gondolas go by. And so I went back up to my hotel room, and then I passed out. And then Sunday, which was day 3 of PAX South, I did not go to day 3 of PAX South because I wanted to go home. So I started packing everything up, made sure I had everything I needed, took a shower, took care of business, as they say, and then, you know, I had the valet bring up my truck, and I got everything put in the truck, and then I drove off, leaving Az, Sky, and the rest of PAX South behind. And what was sad was the guy that they came up to get my stuff told me how PAX South 2017 was better because apparently Nintendo was there a year ago promoting the Nintendo Switch, and he said something else, but I don't remember. There was some other thing that was there too last year. So apparently PAX South 2017 was a little bit bigger than PAX South 2018. But anyways, you know, I got my truck around 9:30 a.m. and then I drove home. And that took me about, I think, 7-8 hours to get home. So it was about, you know, evening time. You know, sun was quite literally setting by the time I made it back home after that drive. It was a good drive. You know, I took the interstate like 35 north to 20 east back home. And I stopped at a couple Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a huge gas station in Texas. There's a few of them. And like they have really nice bathrooms, several stalls. It's really good when you're on the road and you got to go. You want to stop somewhere that's nice, you know. Somewhere that you feel like you're not going to catch anything because you have to use the restroom. And you don't want to wait, right? So that's why I always like to stop at like the truck stop type gas stations, as well as, you know, like nice big rest stops, as well as Buc-ee's. And Buc-ee's is huge, by the way. So it was a long drive, but it was a nice drive. And I listened to music on the way home off my iPod. Yeah, I still have an iPod. And, you know, the past few days I've been just recovering. I felt really drained Monday. And today I'm doing a little bit better, even though there's snow outside. I'm better today than I was Monday. Today being Tuesday, obviously, because, you know, I recorded it the day before it got posted. So hopefully I'm slowly but surely getting over my trip to PAX. Final thoughts, you know, it was a fun experience. It's worth checking out one of these gaming conventions if you get the opportunity to. It's like a vacation. But, you know, it's expensive. It's not cheap. So I would suggest, you know, save up, you know, get a decent hotel, you know, within close proximity to the convention, whichever one you're going to go to in the future. Make sure you get the pass in advance. Plan ahead. Make sure you got provisions, you know, because, you know, things that they try and sell you at the hotel is a lot more expensive than, say, going down the street or a few blocks to like a CVS or a Walgreens or a store. I mean, it's still going to be pricey because it's a tourist town, but it's way cheaper. So plan ahead, think ahead, and most importantly, I would say the temptation to play things, to touch things, was definitely there at PAX South, especially all the girls in cosplay. Hey, you know, I'm just saying. But anyways, I'm talking about the Legos. I'm talking about the video games. That's what I was talking about. So dirty. Man. Anyways, I think that's the reason why a lot of people get sick at PAX South. You know, even though there were sanitation stations and there's plenty of bathrooms at the convention where you could go in and wash your hands, a lot of people don't think about that. They go and they play this video game, then they go play that video game, and you have hundreds of people playing these games, and you have this, hundreds, thousands of people at this event. And of course people are going to get sick. So yeah, plan ahead, plan accordingly. Try not to get sick. Try and make sure you have clean hands, good sanitation, drink plenty of water, vitamin C. Try not to touch too much. Look, but don't touch, as they say. So yeah, it was a good experience. And it was great getting to meet Azralynn and Sky. In case some of you are wondering, Azralynn and Sky are just as cool in person as they are, during their live streams. What you see is what you get from them. They are real, 100% real. And it's an honor to call them friends. So Azralynn and Sky, if you guys happen to be watching, I enjoyed meeting you too. I enjoyed hanging out. Hopefully we'll get to do it again somewhere down the road. And hopefully you guys feel the same way about me. So, yes, that was my experience, my adventure regarding PAX South 2017. And if you went to PAX South 2017, or have you gone to another convention like PAX East or PAX West or PAX Australia or E3 or one of the others that I may have not mentioned, for whatever rhyme or reason, like Gamescom, there's a list of them, long list. Let me know what you thought about the gaming convention you went to. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? Would you like to go to another convention? If there's a convention that you would absolutely love to go to in the future, feel free and let me know that as well below in the comments section.